welcome back to Beyond the Barricade. My name's Laura.
And I'm Madi.
And today, very quick intro, we're diving into part 2 with our good friend, James Coffman.
Yes. So if you haven't listened yet, 2 weeks ago, our last episode was part 1 with James. So if you haven't listened, go back and listen to that one and then come back.
We're kind of given the blueprint of his, and I guess like the blueprint of diving into the touring world from his perspective.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Yeah.
A lot
of great stuff was discussed in part 1.
There's a lot of meat on these bones.
There's a lot, which is why we had to break it into part 2.
Which we love. So we're not going to talk a lot about it. Go back and listen to part 1 if you haven't already. This is part 2. Enjoy.
Here we go.
That's something, we find in you. It's just like a very, I don't know, thinking outside of the box way of shooting a show. I mean, even before you were, I guess, kind of like going on tour, before you were like on the road, creating these like cinematic fucking, projects with bands that we like know of. It was like, that's like such a good fucking photo from the pit. I don't know. There's just something different that like you had like a very distinct eye. And
so if we could go back just a second to like, there's a gap of time there. Like I said, 2021 to 2025, 26. But I think really 2022 to 2024 was like a very developing year. Yeah. And that was when I was getting to a point where people were, I think, enjoying my work. And I was obviously making friends in the scene, in the industry. And, I knew that I needed to learn video if touring was something that I was going to do.
That is, yep.
That's the reality of it. Like, if you can't do video, then it's going to be hard to be able to go full time with the confidence that you're going to stay booked. Like, that's very true. And I knew that. And I knew that I needed to learn video. And if it wasn't for some of my friends out there that like allowed me to come out to their shows where they were the content person and they allowed me to do video and put something together and post it, like if it wasn't for them, like, I don't know, like I wouldn't be here. Like I wouldn't have gotten those opportunities because obviously you can't shoot video when you're on press and all that stuff. Austin Voldseth is an absolute legend, and he let me come out to the Icy Stars show when they came through Dallas. He let me video, do whatever I wanted, and that video became one of my favorite videos I ever made.
Wow.
And Sarai and Jacob Menez, also Sarai,
dude, Jacob,
let me come out and shoot Hawthorne Heights and make video, like one of my other favorite videos that I made. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to go out there.
I see some people complain a lot, and like the photographers trying to get on tour, they're like, well, it's stupid that you can't shoot video. And they get kind of like mad at it, and they just kind of like put like that curtain down, but then they try to do it anyway. And I think it's important. It's like, I don't know, it just kind of touches base with it, like just making those connections that you have, and being a good, genuine human will open those doors for you to do it.
Yeah. And you never expect anything.
Yes.
Like when
you're not owed anything.
Yes.
Right.
Getting a press pass, you're not
when I reach out
anything.
to like my friends like that, and even people that aren't my friends, right? Like that I only know via following, and maybe we've messaged a few times. Like that's like a scary ask sometimes. But the ones that have allowed me to come out, I had been friends with for a year or two at that point.
Yep.
Online. Maybe I hadn't met them yet. Another guy, Ryan Garcia. Like me and Ryan started following each other both early on in our like kind of like shooting careers. And he was on tour with this one band. And I was like, bro, I gotta shake your hand at this point. Like we've known each other for like 3 years. And he was like, bro, you're coming out. We're doing the thing. We're making a video. And I was like, yes. Hell yeah. And remember showing up and seeing him, give him the biggest dap I've ever given and big hug. And it was just like, you built a genuine relationship with someone when you see them in person for the first time, and it's like you've been friends forever.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can't, like, it's hard to tell people how to do that. It's like both parties have to be on the same wavelength of like, we're we're just building a relationship. And we're supporting each other and genuinely supporting
like
each
each other's work.
Genuinely like each other's work, right? there's skill gaps and skill levels all over the place. But like, if you focus on making your work the best that it can be, then you will only like. I don't want to say only. It's weird. It's weird. Like, I'll see someone whose work where I'm like, that is so sick. I don't know this person, but that is super dope. And I would shake that guy's hand because of how sick it is, you know? And that shake of hand is like, yo, your work is sick and DM. And if they don't ever respond,
that's it.
It is what it is. Yeah. But like, I know that if it was me on the other end and I got that message, which I have in the past, I'd feel so good. Like I'd appreciate that a lot.
Yeah.
And then the follow-up message is kind of where is what determines where that relationship goes. Yeah. Right? You see if there's intent or what.
Yeah.
Or if it's actually genuine. So you got to be good at reading that. It's not an easy trait, but you do have to be good at reading that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I try to be a good judge of character, like out the gate. I feel like I'm okay at it.
I think you are.
I think I made some mistakes along the way, but it happens, you know. But yeah. So just friends allowed me to come out, allowed me to put me in like rooms that I wasn't going to be able to get in on my own. That did a lot for me.
Can I talk about a piece of content of yours that I loved? And it was the first video where I was like, holy shit, James is like
doing it.
Killing it. It was the Slipknot video recap that you did. And I can't remember who was on that tour that I think allowed you to shoot video with them. Do you remember? It was at Dosa Keys Pavilion.
No, yes. But I wasn't shooting with anybody.
Oh, you weren't?
So a friend of mine, multiple friends of mine, shot the Slipknot show, that tour, in their like own cities, but more specifically for Slipknot.
Okay.
And so it got me like thinking like, Dallas is the last show of the tour. Like, who says I can't do it? So I reached out to my good friend Carly. She was by like Gnarly Media on Instagram. And I was just like, hey, I saw that you worked for Slipknot. Just curious, are they bringing people out for the show locally?
Each show, yeah.
And she said that she had gotten reached out to because I think she had worked with their team in the past. I was like, okay. I was just like curious about shooting the Dallas show, and I was seeing if I could reach out to their team. And she very generously shared the contact form with me to do that. And I was like, wow, thank you so much. I'll keep you posted. So I shot over the email. I was like, hey, my name's James Coffman. I'm a Dallas local photographer, videographer, and I noticed that you guys were bringing out some creatives to shoot the different shows across the tour, and I was wondering if you guys had anybody set for Dallas, because I'd love to come out. And I like linked my socials, my Instagram, like reality-wise.
Yep.
And I said, this is some of the work I do, and looking forward to hearing from you. And I think they got back to me like in like 6 hours or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like pretty quick.
Unheard of.
Yep. We get like our request sent day of, and we're like, great.
They were like, hey, we're bringing people out on certain shows. And if you want to come out to Dallas, then yeah, sure. They had mentioned that they didn't have budget for the Dallas show.
Which is common.
I totally get, totally understand. But I said, well, that's okay. But would it be okay if I did video? Like, could I make a video for you guys for the Dallas show? And like in return, right? Like,
because mind you guys, for those who like aren't actually like photographers who know like the process, it's usually, the traditional thing. It's like 3 songs, photo only, no flash, like no video, typically going at it. So to get a video like approval is its own separate kind of thing.
Yeah. And it just so happened to be on my birthday. So I was like, yeah, double whammy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I countered, since they didn't have budget for the show, I countered with, let me do a video. And I sent them an example of like what I feel like I could do for them that would match their vibe, which 9 of them. And they were like, yeah, that sounds good to us. We'll give you all access, side stage, if you really want it. The side stage at a Slipknot show ain't much.
You're getting the beer can.
It sounds cooler than it
You're
is.
getting clown, and that's it.
But I was like, perfect. And so I showed up. Well, before I showed up, I will never do this again. I was like, okay, this is happening. I want to have the gear to make happen what I want to happen. So a friend of mine let me use one of her cameras. It was an FX3. And I went as far as to buy an FX3 cage, or maybe she didn't have one. I don't know. I ended up getting a cage to put on this FX3 to mount all my shit to it, both handles, Atomos monitor on top with a big ass battery, my 14 millimeter, which is also big and heavy, and
you went all out.
I rigged up this thing.
A camera you didn't own.
Yeah, I did. But I'm glad I had it. It was great. But also, there's no reason for it. No reason for it at all. And I also had 2 other cameras on me. So I had 2 photo cameras and a video camera for no reason. I could have gotten what I got with one body.
It's not about the gear.
But now you know.
Well, now I know. I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
But yes, I ended up getting everything I wanted. I, for whatever reason, shot in ProRes RAW.
Hell yeah.
For whatever reason, through my Atomos. I didn't need to do that.
Nope.
I was just like, I just want the best quality. It's just going to be the best.
Yep.
Anyways, so I made the video. And, looking back at it, I was like, yeah, it's fine. Looking back at it. And in the moment, I was like,
annoying.
This is the best thing I've ever made.
It was. I still think it's so good.
Oh my God.
And I sent it over, and they were like super stoked about it. And again, like, there was no expectation for them to share it. There was no expectation for them to share any of my photos.
But it was so fucking sick.
But it was the last show too of the tour, so it's like they don't need to, right? And I remember being bummed because I was like, I sent it to them, and they were like, "Oh, this is cool, thanks so much," and I didn't hear anything back. And like, I don't know. I mean, they don't have to answer to me. Like, it was just like the fact that I got to do it and I got to share it myself, like, was really cool. So thank you, Slipknot team, for letting me do that.
Thank you, Slipknot.
But probably, and then I like, in that time afterwards, I made this like photo composition, and I was very much into like Photoshop stuff. If you scroll back far enough on my Instagram, you'll be like, oh,
he's that guy.
I get it.
That used to be your signature style.
Yeah, it was like, I can go on a tangent about that, about like how certain photographers that I love and respect. No, but it's a good thing. It's like a positive thing. It's like you can kind of tell like that's a James photo, that's a K Darks photo, and it's like it's means with like the utmost respect.
Yeah.
You had your photo style.
Yeah. That was the moment that I was like, this is cool. And
this person's trying to be James.
Everybody started doing it.
That's what I was going to say. We've had that conversation where it's really cool when someone starts doing it.
It's not like, I don't look at that as like, oh, they copied me. I look at it as like, hey, it worked.
But that's also kind of just how everyone starts. You just, you see things you like and you try to emulate
replicate it. Yeah.
And that whole thing, funny enough, that whole like double exposure thing, I stole it from Hunter.
There you go.
Like, Hunter was the first person I ever saw do it, and it was sick. And I was like, I want to try that. And then I made it my entire personality for the longest time.
Yep.
Have you read the book Steal Like an Artist?
That was one of my favorite books.
Yep. It's I mean, it's
on
just
my
how it
nightstand.
is.
Nothing is original.
Nothing is original. We're all getting inspiration from each other.
Exactly. So, side tangent. But I made a composition of all of the members in Photoshop.
Again, 9 of them.
9 of them. And through a few revisions, sent it over to them, and they're like, this is sick. We're going to use this as our end of year post or whatever. And I was like, hell yeah, at least something's getting posted. Hell yeah. And shortly after that, I got an email from them saying, hey, we would like to buy your video to use it to promote our Europe tour, as well as buy your design and put it on a t-shirt.
Which L'Oreal and I both own.
No, I own... Hold on. Keep talking.
I
I don't own the Slipknot one. Remember, it's sold
Wow,
out.
fake fan. Just kidding. I own it.
Which was really cool. I was like, wow. Like it went from, they didn't have budget for that show to like, you know what? This is something that we like.
Yeah.
And, they bought it outright and I was totally cool with that. Made that decision myself. Yeah, it was really neat. I was like, this is probably at that point one of the coolest things that ever happened to me.
And I think it's such it's a testament to like, I think people can look down upon doing work for free, especially for bands when they're bigger, but you never know what's going to come out of it. You never know the relationship you're going to build from it. And it's kind of like we were talking earlier, like no one owes you anything. And until you prove to them what you can do, they don't owe you anything.
Yeah.
So I just think that's such like the coolest story. Cause I remember you posting that video and I loved it. I thought it was a cinematic masterpiece. I was like, James is a videographer. And then they used it for the tour promo and then a shirt. Nope.
Whose is this?
That was mine.
Yes,
I thought that was, yes, it was.
It's not.
I also have that one.
Hold on, everybody.
We are James's number one
I
fan.
like
We have his
how you
merch.
turned it into a crop top.
I did. Well, fun fact.
They messed up our orders, both of ours.
So they sent me like a 3XL the first time.
They also sent me a 3XL.
Oh,
And so then
Or no, they sent me an extra small.
That's
And
what
I
it was. Yeah. And so then they sent me like a large because they sold out, I think, of the other size.
yeah.
So
It's all right, though.
It's all right. Yeah.
Now we have two.
But yeah, I mean, it goes from Slipknot, and then I missed out on Slipknot's order, which actually I was really bummed out about. And then I got Under Oath.
Oh, well, I dig it.
We're big
Hell
fans.
yeah.
We're big fans of James.
So the whole Slipknot thing was really cool. And I ended up getting a friendship out of it with, I say friendship, but like a
work
professional acquaintance.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it
That's
just
cool.
ended up being a really cool just relationship I was able to build. I say build. That sounds dumb.
It just
a
naturally, yeah.
a natural,
All out of
connection,
one
I
email
guess.
because you wanted to shoot one show.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it.
And
then
so
you kind of do the same thing with Under Oath.
that wasn't even, I was at Furnace Fest for that
No
show.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
I took that photo being like, I mean, I know Spencer, and I just took that photo during the final set of Furnace Fest when they headlined and end up being one of my favorite photos like of all time.
It's so great.
And Spencer was like, yo, we might use that on a shirt.
And you were like,
I said,
guess so.
all right.
I said, okay.
So
That's what I
yeah,
have.
so that's Slipknot. That
Amazing.
was
That's so cool.
that was the coolest thing that I think
love
ever
that.
happened. Oh, but speaking of shirts, I just got my third.
Can
In the
share
Can we
mail.
share this? Is this an
Yeah, it's
exclusive?
been public.
Oh, okay,
it's-
okay.
Damn
I was gonna maybe post about it, but I don't know. I didn't. But my photo's now on a Sleeping with Sirens shirt.
Shut up. That's so cool.
Yeah.
So another one we have to buy.
I got it hung up on my my wall.
That's sick.
Oh, hell yeah, that's so cool.
So all three of them are hung up on my wall.
Can you send us the link after this so we can buy it if it's still up?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. I think it's been live since like
We'll put it in the show notes.
November or something.
Oh, wow.
Buy James's shirt,
Yep. Big fans.
I don't get a residual, so like you're supporting the band.
but it's sick.
But it's still cool.
But it's cool.
It is cool having a photo on a shirt being like, yeah, I know the person who took this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's literally Kellen's foot, like it's his shoe,
Sick.
But it was your photo.
and I remember sending it to Kellen. I took a photo of it in the frame. I sent it to all of them, and Kellen goes, "Ah, yeah, my stinky feet." I was like, forever encapsulated.
Yep.
Here we go.
I love that.
But yeah, so I don't know. A lot has happened.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like,
in the short span, I know it's like, it's been a long span, but I do feel like once you kind of go on the road, it's like things pick up and it's just like one of those things where it's like the more you just do and the more you're able to like allow opportunities to come in, that's like when you start seeing things. That's something that Madi and I talked about too a lot before. Like I started to like tour when I was quitting my job. She was very adamant about allowing yourself to like be open to opportunities, and then you're able to start receiving them, and they kind of like start popping up more because you're able to see them now and accept things more.
yeah, you kind of just say yes to everything.
Yeah.
That was advice that was given to me. Was like just say yes to everything, right?
Especially early on.
Fill your calendar.
Yep.
And like, I think that's why last year I had 7 tours and I worked with different artists
and that was your first year.
And that was my first year touring.
Which is crazy.
You know, I think there's something to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
As we've talked about, I didn't just jump into touring. Like, I've been shooting for...
That's true.
At that point, it was like 9 years.
You can't expect to just jump in.
Well, and also you had opportunities to tour that you turned down before that, right?
Yes. That was the motivator of like, oh.
When you start turning things down.
Yeah. But also it was like, it needed to make sense. I got asked to do that tour. It was the same. It was right. So weirdly enough, Hunter, of course.
All comes back.
Big Hunter fans.
Asked me if I was free for a tour with Daughtry. And I was like, when? And he's like, in like 2 weeks for like 6 weeks. And I was like...
And you were still working a 9 to 5?
Still working 9 to 5. It was August, right before Slipknot. And my mom was coming into town and it was just like a whole lot going on that like I couldn't just quit my job. Like it wouldn't have made any sense, you know? And like, again, I've always only ever wanted to do it right. But I remember having to turn it down and not forgetting it.
Yeah.
And being like, if that opportunity presented itself, why wouldn't others? So that was 2024?
Mm-hmm.
2024.
The Retta
of like
nod.
August.
Yep.
Yeah, August 2024. And what I did, no, that's not right. It was 23. Had to be. Because I took like, maybe it was 24 and I'd already been saving a shit ton of money. Yeah, it was. So I, had already been like in the process of saving a shit ton of money.
You've been scheming.
I worked at corporate America. It was easy to save money.
Mm-hmm.
But also, this whole thing I'm about to say that I think is super important for anybody that wants to go tour is finances are real. Like, it is a real thing. You have bills to pay. No one's forgetting about the fact that you have bills to pay.
Yep.
Everyone pays rent or a mortgage. And we all pay those utilities and all that stuff still needs to be paid for. So like at the end of the day, you need to be making money that's going to pay and support the life that you've already built. Unfortunately, 10 years of corporate America, I got all that life shit kind of like squared away.
Yeah.
And then quitting my job wasn't even in the question. Unless financially it made sense.
Yep.
So what I did was save a ton of money. I saved so much money so that when an opportunity presented itself to me, I didn't have to say no.
Yep.
And that it was an opportunity that was going to lead to more opportunities. And about a year and a half of saving, got an opportunity to go tour Sleeping Sirens. And I can shout out Mr. Ray Duker for that one.
We love
Ray. It was his birthday the other day.
Yeah, it was.
Ray is the reason I'm here. Like, obviously I put in work to get better at what I was doing, but Ray is the one that positioned me.
Ray is such a real one.
To be able to do this. So I am forever grateful for you, Ray. Thank you for everything. But I was able to say yes and quit my job and know that if something happened, I was going to be okay. And that's where you want to be. It's if something happens, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And I just kept touring. And it worked out better than I could have ever hoped. And I'm very grateful and feel very fortunate for all of the bands that trusted me with their image and everything on each of the tours that I've done.
Yeah.
It's been insane.
Yeah. It means a lot.
Can we do a couple of rapid fire questions to wrap this up?
Yes.
Great. So the first one, I feel like this whole hour and a half long podcast episode is the answer to this question, but really concisely, if you are talking to creators who are listening and want to get into the touring world, what is the biggest piece of advice you can give them?
The one piece of advice I could give any creator, and it was a piece of advice that was given to me at Warped Tour in 2013 or 14. I was on the Barricade, and we were about to watch Asking Alexandria.
Wow.
And there was someone on the other side of the Barricade with a camera. And I remember asking him, hey, how did you get into this? And he goes, get really, really, really good at one thing, and the other doors will open.
I love that.
And I've always remember that. And it's true. I got really, really good at one thing.
Yeah.
Then I also had to get pretty good at another thing.
And then you
really
grow.
quick. Yeah.
And then it all happened.
Mm-hmm.
Love that. Favorite tour memory so far?
Oh, easy. So recently, when I was in Europe, UK, actually. First UK, first Europe tour. Sick. So I would say like that, in a way, it's like
Pretty big.
Pretty cool.
Mhm.
But to top that off, or cap that, is I went to Ed Sheeran's bar in London.
I did see that on your
gosh.
stories.
And while we were there,
I did see that.
we're having a beer downstairs. Me and a buddy of mine who I met for the first time that night. His name's Ryan. The bartender was being really nice, and we were chatting and stuff. And she was like, "Oh, have you seen the second floor?" And I was like, "Oh, there's just tables up there." She's like, "No." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Let's go." And so we go up there, and we go through this back door that says like staff only.
Mhm.
And we walk in, and it's a room full of Ed Sheeran stuff.
Crazy.
And for those that don't know, Ed Sheeran, I think I mentioned it earlier, it's like my favorite artist.
Mhm.
So being able to be in that room and see his plaques and his records and like his autobiography and like real photos that he take, like
Mhm.
probably best tour memory. But outside of that, I'll be a little cliche and say just getting to meet and know the bands I've toured with
Mhm.
and like understand them as people. I think has been the more fulfilling part
love that.
of touring.
Now that you're on tour with bands, is there something that you kind of take, into consideration when you see like the first three like photographer or like the first three song photographers in the pit? Or is there something that you kind of like, I don't know, remember? Does it bring any sort of feeling to you?
Yes, and I was thinking about this on the last tour actually. Is I remember having to work almost twice as hard when I was just shooting first three from the pit in the crowd. To really actually get what I want, because I only had one show to do it. So my mind was like way on the entire time, to the point where I wasn't even like watching the show. I was just trying to get the shots that I was trying to get.
Yep.
That I don't want to say I've seen a decline in quality, but I've seen me not put as much effort into like my edits as I used to. And that's obviously mostly because we're doing show after show after show after show. It's like maybe I should kind of think a little bit harder about some of my edits or whatnot. Not that I don't like them. I know from what I used to do and like focus, I'd edit a photo in Lightroom, know what I want to do to it in Photoshop, export it, bring it into Photoshop, clean up the way that I want it to, do some like glow shit and like really zhuzh up a photo so that I can post it. So like that's the one thing I've noticed is like I had to work harder as a pit photographer. And also I don't use my 70-200 as much as I used to. I use my 70-200 all the time when I was a pit photographer because, you leave the pit and you can ideally shoot from the crowd. And those were some of my favorite photos I ever took. And nowadays it's like I have access to everywhere and I just go wherever I want and I don't really have to think that hard. Now I think much harder on the video side.
Sure.
So there's like a trade-off there because like I wasn't focusing on video when I was in the pit. I was solely focusing on photo.
Yep.
But I think in the reverse of that is I used to take social media so seriously as far as like making sure that every post was better than the last every single time. Like I always wanted to continue to get better and better and better and continue to like in a way have shock value for when someone saw my photo, they'd be like, holy shit. Like that's the reaction I wanted.
Yep.
And so like I focused so hard on making sure that whatever photo set I posted, it was better than the last. And that kind of goes back to just continuing to get better and better and seeing things differently and composing things in a way that is interesting, right? Because I can see 100 photos that are normal, and I can see 3 photos that are like artistically well put, and I'm going to choose those over those any day.
Every time.
You know?
Yep.
But also, because I took social media so seriously then, nowadays, the reverse is like, I have social media. I have work that I can post all the time, always, no matter what. And now I can kind of be a little bit more like selective of like what I share and like be more intentional about what I'm sharing. Not that I wasn't before. I was being very intentional, but I can be like less like stressed in a way about social media when, you know, this is something. Sorry, I know this is supposed to be rapid fire, but
go.
Yes.
This is something that like I was thinking about is like, I think we work so hard to paint a picture of ourselves online that the genuine side of things get lost.
Yes.
Or people just see you as a certain thing and, you know, it is what it is. And I used to take social media so seriously. And I wanted, anyway, people to have a picture of me that, you know, I could kind of be proud of in a way. That doesn't take away the fact that I was still trying to be transparent, genuine, show my process and all of that stuff. That was still there, but I think I had a thing in my mind of where I wanted to go, and that was to tour. I wanted to have the best work that I could so I can go tour. And like nowadays, it's like social media. If there's, I think, anything important that I can say on this, it might be this, is we need to stop making our content about ourselves and more about the people that we're capturing. You know, like more power to you if that's what you appreciate and want to show of yourself. I'm not here to tell you to do anything, right? But I think at the end of the day, the most important part for anybody that wants to go tour, and not everyone wants to go tour, and I get that. You just want to be a press photographer and do your thing, you know, and that's totally cool. But if you want to tour, you need to get in the mindset of it's never going to be about you anymore.
Correct.
It's about the artist, the band, whoever you're working for. And I didn't honestly think about it that way before I started touring, you know? And I think that's powerful, right? Like, because if you get in that mindset, everything you put out is going to be like a more of a highlight and a more direct reflection of the artist and not yourself. Like, you're never going to see me doing a trend of sorts saying like,
You're not going to be dancing on TikTok?
Here's me working. It's like, it's a given. It's a given that what we're doing is we're working. Like, and I think we get so tied up in like
the person behind the camera.
The person behind the camera, and you making it about that it's like you lose the credibility of like, why are you even doing this? And that I've seen that more lately. And don't get me wrong, I never really did those trends back in the day, but I know how I was as a photographer getting exposed to certain things that like, this is fucking cool. How do I not talk about this? You know?
Yeah.
But like, you have to in a way have that restraint to be like, this is really cool. I'm internally very grateful and feel very fortunate that I'm here. And I don't need to tell anybody that.
Yep.
You know?
Yeah. Have you read the book Building a Brand Story or Brand Story? Building a Brand Story, I think.
I just bought that book.
It's exactly what you're talking about. It's so good, and it changed the way that I think about branding, especially in like the wedding world for me personally. But it talks a lot about how when you're building a brand, the consumer, but in this case, the band, the artist, whoever you're creating for is the hero of the story. You are the guide that are getting them to what they want to do. So in this case, promotion,
There you go. You don't need to read the book.
Yeah,
it's a synopsis.
It's a fantastic book. You will love it.
No.
It's phenomenal, but it's quite literally exactly what you're talking about. It's removing the ego from it and making it about the person that you're creating it for.
The reason I found out about that book is when I did 2 weeks with Memphis Mayfire last year on their headliner, and I had like recorded a clip of a fan on the Barricade, and she was like crying or something, or she was just having a moment.
I know the clip you're talking about.
And I was like, this makes sense. I'm going to record this. I had my 7200 on, so like she can't really see me doing it.
Yeah.
And I showed it to Madi, and he goes, I love that. He was like, you're making the fan the hero of the story.
Yep.
And he's like, it reminds me of this book. And it was that one. And so I was like, I'm buying it.
Yes.
And that is also why we started backing the Barricade.
Literally.
Because we wanted to put the spotlight on fans.
Yeah.
Which I think is really,
the people
it's a cool,
who are having these like moments and these emotions
They're
at the show.
They're the ones that make the industry.
Yeah. It's half the story of what's happening at a show.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's the connections and stuff for sure.
So that was my side tangent. Stop making it about yourself. Like at the end of the day, you are creating art and you should be proud of that art. But the moment you flip the script onto you, or you turn the camera around on you, it's like it immediately makes it about you, whether you want it to, whether that's your goal or not. You know, if the goal is to go viral, like at the end of the day, it's like you're making that about you.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is a hot button topic at all. Like,
shoot.
So I mean, blame me in the comments, I guess. But like, I don't know. You got to be genuine. Like you're not creating for you. You're creating for the person that you're capturing.
Exactly. Yeah. It's the outset. There's a car.
Okay.
I think kind of to wrap it up, the last question that we always ask everybody on the podcast, and I mean, take it how you will. What are you,
Go ahead.
I was going to say, what are you a fan of right now?
And I'm going to ask you two things. What are you a fan of right now, artist-wise and creator-wise?
Yeah.
Because I feel like you will have a great answer for both.
So you say music-wise?
Yeah. So like artist.
Yeah.
Who are you listening to? Who are you a major fan of right now?
What are you watching?
Volumes put out an album recently, and I never listened to Volumes before. Like, I mean, I've known of them, but I never really listened to the music. But they just put out an album that is one of my favorite albums I've listened to in a long time. There's a song on it called Adrenaline, and it's the most repeatable song I've ever listened to. And I know all the words to it already.
High praise.
Yep.
And that if I had to highlight one, it's definitely that. And off the top of my head, I don't even know what the album's called, but it's by Volumes, and it just came out last year, earlier this year. I don't remember, but it's great. That's definitely that answer.
Awesome. Creative-wise. Creator.
I think top of the list has to be Amber with President right now. He goes by Ambitam on Instagram. And we've never talked before. I don't know her in person. I've followed her work for a long time. It's been very awesome to watch. Very genuine content. I'm going to call it content. Just video making and cinematography, and it's beautiful. It's great. You know, I would probably shout her work from the rooftops because it's that good. And I've never met her.
Just another one you're gonna compliment.
You know.
Yep.
And then I gotta give some praise to Ray Duker again.
Yeah.
Dude,
the things that Ray's putting out right now with Beartooth,
insane.
It's
Ray has always been like a source of inspiration for me.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel very fortunate and grateful to call him a friend.
Yeah.
But Ray has always pushed. He's pushed the game in his own way,
mm-hmm.
which I think is awesome. Whereas like we tend to kind of grab inspiration from other places, he tends to create inspiration, and I love that.
That's very good. Yeah.
And then third, there's a lot. I think there's a ton of people in this boat.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many creative friends, and feel fortunate to be able to call them friends. But Christian Waite with Pierce Savelle he's been an inspiration to me since I met him, and since watching everything that he's done with Pierce the Veil, and to again be able to call him a friend is like, I feel so grateful.
Yeah.
So his work is also very cinematic and very cinematography-esque. That just works for a band like Pierce the Veil.
I love that.
So that's probably top 3, and then there's a ton of them. I already threw out Jacob Menez. I threw out Ryan Garcia. Obviously, Zach Burns and
all the guys.
Justin. If Justin just would make some more posts, I swear to God. But Justin Rose, my best friend, and
what a guy.
Someone that helps keep me sane too. So
yes.
Well, before we say our goodbyes, where can everyone find you this year? Where are you headed to next? Who are you going to be on tour with through the end of the year? Can you tell us your plans so people can follow along?
So very grateful to be able to say that most of my year is booked. So starting with in 2 days, I fly to Europe to tour with Memphis Mayfire on the Fit for a King headliner tour in the EU and UK. And then after that, we do some Southeast Asia stuff, potentially Dubai if it's not being crazy over there.
Yeah.
But Bangkok and one other one. And then we're going over to Australia after that for a week. And then we go over to Indonesia and we do Hammer Sonic Festival where I get to see my boys and counterparts as well, and work with Memphis Mayfire again. And then potentially Southeast Asia with counterparts, and then home for maybe 2 days. Maybe.
Yep. See Rada and the cats.
I have the best wife in the world, just so everyone knows. And I'm home for 2 days, and I go out with Coheed and Cambria for 3 weeks.
Rowing the microphone
on the Shinedown headliner. And then thankfully I'm home for like a month. And Red and I are going on a vacation that we just booked flights for last night.
Nobody book him.
Well deserved.
Yes.
Well deserved.
Where are you guys going?
We're going to Pacific Northwest.
And
we're meeting up with some friends. Another great friend and creative of mine, Dylan Phipps, and his wife are also going to be up there. So we're going to do a few things with them.
Cute.
And then we're going to do that for probably like a week and a half, and then home for about 3 weeks, which will be nice. And I'm back out with Coheed and Cambria for like 6 weeks, which will be long, but I'm excited about it. I kind of missed arenas, which sounds kind of snooty to say, but it like
arena catering is so nice,
shooting
man.
an arena and like just the accommodations are really nice too. But again, fortunate, feel very grateful to be there. And then home from that, I'm home for, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And I can't say what's next.
But he'll be out there.
You'll have to follow him to find out.
Yep.
And I can't say what's next after that.
There you go.
Cool.
So.
Well, thank you so much, James.
Yes.
This has been a long time coming.
Yes.
We love getting to talk to you and catch up, and I'm so excited to watch you fucking circle the globe over the next year. It'll be great.
I'm looking forward to it, and this was fun. And I think I said a lot of things that like I've wanted to say on like a kind of podcast type thing like this, and I think like my last kind of just thing I would probably sign off with is like be a good person, like approach situations delicately, like understand that it's not always about you, and
It rarely is.
always continue to make your work the best that it can be, because that's going to put you in rooms that you would have never expected, and it's going to have people speak your name in rooms that you would have never expected.
Yep.
Hello there, Josie.
So agrees.
Josie got excited about that one.
So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. And I mean, I could talk forever, but it's been very, very sick. And
Oh yeah.
that's really what it comes
Well,
down
we
to.
appreciate you. We love what you're doing, and we will always be your biggest fans.
Always.
Oh, I appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, James.
Bye.
Bye.
Guys,
Do you like our shirts?
We mentioned it in the episode, but
we showed them.
We showed yours. I didn't have mine on me at the time.
Yeah.
This is the Slipknot one.
And this is the Under Oath one.
Yep.
We love James.
So James is fucking killing it.
James is doing so great. We actually told him too before when we were like getting him like onto the podcast. We've been talking about this for a very long time with him, like collectively, all of us together in like our group term. We're like, James, where are you? James.
In typical fashion, none of us are ever in the same place at the same time. And I think we mentioned it during the episode, but he literally carved out time for us when we were all in Dallas to do this interview, and then left for Europe for like 6 weeks, 2 months, I don't know.
And then like Australia, like wherever
24 hours later.
Yeah. I mean, as you heard in the episode, he has his whole this year and next year booked up. So who knows what we'll see him next?
Yeah. So we were very, very thankful that James gave us his time and gave us so much of his time and talked so candidly about so many things that revolve around the touring industry, and also just like how he got into it, which a lot of it I actually didn't even know.
Yeah.
Which is cool. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.
It's a lot, but it's so good. And James is, I think, one of the kind of key components that I keep remembering throughout the whole episodes was he's such an approachable person in our world, in our scene. Like he, as he mentioned before, like in this interview, he will respond to any DM as long as it's not like weird. Vibe check yourself first. But he's a very good person to just ask a general question to, or to be like, hey man, I really like appreciate like this thing. If you're like wondering how he did a certain edit.
Yeah. He will break it down with you.
He does. He does not gatekeep anything.
We literally said he is the opposite of whatever gatekeeping is.
He's an open door
person. He willingly and eagerly hands over the keys to the castle and tells you exactly what he does and how he got there and the mistakes he made and how to make it better.
Little candidly, after we recorded the episode, we were all walking to get drinks after, and he was like, so Laura, like, where are you at, like, video-wise? I'm like, I'm here. I'm not where you, I'm no James Coffman. I'm no Zach. I'm like, whatever. And he was like, well, why haven't you called me? And I was like,
you're so right.
I'm like, I had no response. I was like, yeah, you're right. And he was like, we're going to connect and I'm going to get you like up to date. Yeah. And I was like, great. Thank you, James.
And I think that's just like a testament to the kind of person that James is. And I think he genuinely wants everyone to see people do well. And it makes the industry as a whole better. Mm-hmm. And like he said, you can give someone all the same tools that you have. No one's going to create something in the same way you're going to. So,
and that's why I love this job and why I love our friends in this world. So
we are big James Coffman fans. I hope after listening to these 2 episodes, you are as well.
Mm-hmm. Make sure you follow James on his social media.
Especially the next 2 years are going to be fucking insane.
He's going always everywhere. Putting out stuff too that's just like insane. I'm like, why? How did you think of that? And he's a really fun follow.
Yeah. Every time he posts, I'm like, this is it. This is your best piece of content. It can't get better. Yep. And then his next post comes along and I'm like, that's your best piece. Yeah. And that is just who James is as a creative, which makes him so fun to follow. Yep. So if you're not already, go follow him. We'll link everything down below.
Yep. But make sure you tune into our podcast every 2 weeks. We have a new episode coming out. Yep. Subscribe. Follow us on all the social medias, all that shit. And yeah, you know where to find us.
Yeah. We hope you enjoyed this episode and we'll see you in another 2 weeks.
Bye.
Bye.